All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn this to this. All right, so I got in the K&N cold air intake system here with the big filter up there. And you've probably seen lots of videos of the installations. This is just one that I'm going to do on my 2015 F-150 3.5 EcoBoost. And I've got it all laid out here on my table. And I've already kind of taken the liberty to put some of it together, but let's just talk about it. Everything comes in the box, filter comes in that box. You take it out of the wrapper, and I've already done parts of it here. So you've got to put on the upper piece. Let's move this box out of the way. You've got to put on the little rubber seal, and I've seen somewhere they make a cut. They cut the lengths here. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to see if I could get it on and if it would seat correctly. And have a good seat, and it did. So I just went all the way around, and yeah, I had to cut off all about that much off the end so the seam would come together, and that's just fine. Actually, in some of the videos on like American Muscle, they did it this way as well, and it worked out just fine. On the bottom side, when you get this little bracket, you are going to have to cut this little piece right here, this little seal, in almost half. It's at 9.5 inches, so you want to cut 9.5 inches, and then they give you the super glue right here. They give you the super glue to attach it, so you're just going to put a little bead right on the metal and then just push that right down and wipe up any excess. And then these are all off, and of course the seals are not on there, the clamps are not on there, I'm sorry. And so I just put those on. They're loose. They're all loose. These are all loose, except for that one. I just tightened it just a little bit. But you want to have these whenever you're putting it on. You want to put them with the clamps in a direction that you can actually easily get access to them. So whenever it goes on and you're putting it into the truck or onto the motor, you're going to be able to get access to it. You don't want it like on the backside underneath. It'd be really tough to get to. And there is one on when you're taking the other one out, which we'll show in just a second, that is that way. So we're going to try to make it easy on ourselves. So when you're attaching the, there's a little adapter fitting that's inside that. So loosen that one's already tight. So you could loosen that up and pull that off. There's an adapter that's on there, so the filter has something to clamp onto, and that just screws in real easy right there. A piece of cake. I set everything up here at night, knowing that in the morning I can go and now disassemble the old one, the one that came with the truck, and let's get to putting this thing on. All right, the first thing that we want to do is just take the air sensor off and just turn it counterclockwise and give it a little strong pull, and it should come right out. Just set it aside for now and be real careful with it. It is very fragile. Next, just release the two clips on the side of the airbox. There's 3 clamps that we have to take off. This first one is kind of in a tough spot. You just got to work your way behind it there, loosen that one up. You're using a number 7 socket. After you get this one done, you can loosen up the other 2 clamps that are fairly easy to get to. Once all the clamps are loose, just lift up on the airbox, give a good little solid tug, and the tube will come out. Take the air filter out. And be sure to clear out any debris that you have. All right, so next we're going to put the little rubber grommet into the new K&N tube. This is for the air sensor. And just kind of pinch a corner and it'll push right in. Now I've got to go back to the truck and disconnect the air sensor from the cable, bring it in, and we've got to take the little rubber O-ring off. So just get like a little small flathead screwdriver. Be real careful here. Just pry that one side up and the little rubber O-ring should come off. Now we're going to insert the sensor into the air sensor hole in the new tube. That's a little tight, so you got to kind of work it just a little bit. Alright, to make installation a little bit easier, go ahead and pre-install your clamps on the couplers, and we're going to attach those to the new tube. Definitely you're going to want to, when you get your clamps on, just tighten them up. They come really loose, so just, you know, hand tighten them up just a little bit just to make them a little snug. That makes putting them on quite a bit easier. Yeah, there's no need to tighten these down just yet. Just get them snug enough to where it'll just kind of stay in place, and you'll tighten them down later once you're ready. Alright, so now we can install the new air box. Just make sure the tabs line up on the other side and secure the new air box to the existing one using the factory clips. Now we can bring out the tube and connect it. Once the new tube is in place and connected with all the couplers, now you can go back and tighten everything down. And the final piece is to reconnect the air sensor cable. All right, so that's the install. My advice is to actually put this guy on first and get him seated up close to here. Have him facing this direction because they're just easy to get to. And then go ahead and then tighten this guy, get this guy in, tighten him up, tighten that guy up. He was already kind of tight just to hold in place. And then the last one is right here, and then get him shoved in. You might have to move the boot just a little bit. Same with here. I struggled just a little bit and had to move the boot just a little bit to get it to work out, which was fine. But then, yeah, this is the last one, the easiest one. And then the very last thing that you want to do is go ahead and reattach the sensor. So there's a little push button right there. It'll unplug. But that's it. Okay, so now let's find out what it sounds like. So this is what it sounds like stock. Alright, so here is my post-install thoughts and review. It definitely feels like, especially out of the hole, that you got a little bit more horsepower, and that's exactly what K&N says that you're going to get. Maybe double digits increase in horsepower, definitely single digits increase in horsepower, but also you're looking for some more fuel economy. I haven't had it long enough installed to be able to find that out if I'm getting more miles per gallon on the highway, which will be great according to what K&N says that you'll get. But definitely, out of the hole, you can definitely hear a change in sound coming from the engine. It's definitely throatier, beefier. You can hear a lot of the whistle coming from the turbo. So if you're into that kind of thing, which I kind of am, I like it. I like hearing it. It's going to be cool. So that's definitely my review right now of the K&N cold air intake filter. All right, so hey, hopefully you found this video helpful and you benefited from it and just watching the install. Pretty easy to do, not too bad even for a mechanically not inclined person here. I don't work on trucks, so but this one was pretty easy for me to do. Not too bad. Might have only taken me total maybe 45 minutes to do the whole thing, but super easy. But hey, if you found it helpful, please subscribe to the channel and click that little bell icon so you get notifications of when I do post a new video. And we'll see you in the next one.